Shalom, shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashan Awashai Bashan Wakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, to be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And found myself downtown, and I got some downtime in between clients and class, so I came over to an old spot. I used to actually train people here, right there where all those people are standing, with one of my students who actually turned into a badass trainer herself. We used to bring people out here at 6 o'clock in the morning and make a killing off these Edomites down here, you know. But that was way back then, before the truth, you know. But that kind of money, ain't no money to be made like that no more, because ain't nobody got it. But moving on into the lesson, a heathen shared an article with me this morning, and so I'm going to read some of this article and just read a few scriptures. And let's find this article and pull it up. And the article is about woke Christians, which will probably be the name of this video with a huge question mark behind it. But yeah, it says, this is an article from Newsweek, and it's called Woke Christians Are Eroding Donald Trump's Base and Divided the Evangelical Church. All right. And it's by who is this by? By Paul Bond. All right. And it came out 10/1/20, so just a couple days ago. And it reads, "We need to talk about race," Phil Vischer says in a video posted June 14th on YouTube. The evangelical creator of VeggieTales, a children's show that tells Bible stories using animated vegetables with names like Junior, Asparagus, and Par Grape, tells the viewers in his 17-minute video that the blacks hold half of the 10th of the wealth as whites. One of the delves into the history of John Crow, the war on drugs, militarized police. He talks about the TV news media that scares Americans with images of black criminals and teachers who favor white kids due to their unconscious bias. So there is a level of unconscious bias with these heathens. But let us get it clear. They're using vegetables as Bible characters to get away from using the people, because you have to understand, everyone has a nationality, and all the people in the Bible had a nationality and skin color, and the majority of the people in the Bible were all dark flesh people except for the Edomites. All right, the Edomites were the only pale people in the Bible. All right, but you can't acknowledge the truth about the Bible until you can be honest about the people that are in it. So let's go to first scripture we're going to grab is 1 John 5:10. Let's find it. I'm getting attacked by a tree here. 5:10. I didn't realize I sat so close to this tree. Oops. Okay. And it reads, "He that believeth on the Son of God have witness in himself, and he that believeth not God have made him a liar, because he believeth not the record that God gave of his Son." And the Lord left a very clear, concrete record of his Son and what he looked like. He left a record of what the Most High left a record of what he looks like, what his Son looked like, what the angels look like, and what his people look like. And what in the images that you see plastered on the walls of churches around the world are not it. All right? All the true images of them were pulled down and painted over, for the most part. During the Dark Ages, when the Edomites got control over Europe, the iconoclasm started, during the Renaissance, and things of that nature. All right, but you can't say you're woke if you're not acknowledging the truth, man. And then as far as Jim Crow and war on drugs, all that was peace that they were saying, but they were destroying many because that's what it was set up to do. All right. There's even something in this article about them not having fathers at home, which was all, and that's all the fault. That's also orchestrated by Esau Edom with his social aid programs, which require the man to be out of the house. And then that behavior has been taught generation after generation. But let's go to Daniel real quick, to the book of Daniel, 8 and 25. And it reads, "And through his policy he also shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hands." So all that Jim Crow and all those laws that they used to destroy Jake, it still didn't help them, because look at America now. Okay? Look at it now, man. When you see the number of people that's walking by, that's nothing. It was probably 20 times that amount of people, man. If you go back 10 years ago, on the other side of that little stand, even further than that, on the other side of that little stand, there's a little hill, a decline, because those go steps. I used to train one of my best fighters right there over there in that corner, next to that wall. He used to run up and down that hill, and then come up to the top of the hill and do pad work for rounds, after round after round, up and down that hill, man. And it would be so many people out here watching him. We created a spectacle out here, right? But it's dead out here, man. Compared to how it used to be, this is nothing. All right, so let's go back to this article. Also, you know what? Let me grab one more scripture. We get Isaiah. Ten and 1, and it says, "Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they have prescribed." So that's another way that they destroy Jacob. And then when they're in this lower state, they make and poke fun of them. Redlining. Go look it up. Go Google it. Redlining, like you said, the Jim Crow, the Housing Acts, not allowing Jake to participate in voting. Not that voting mattered anyway. Not allowing them to own homes for the first 40 plus years that the Federal Housing Authority came into play. All right, they financially handicapped Jake. All right, financially handicapped them, and then didn't make any handicap ramps for them to come up, and then make fun of them because they're behind. That's E for you. All right. So let's go back to this article. Read a little bit more of it. It says, but Vitcher's video can help chip away at the support, given it has been viewed over 8 million times thus far, and Vitcher told Newsweek 90% of the feedback he's received has been positive. Where there's been pushback, it's from people who say the poor don't work hard, or they don't, there we go, or they don't have fathers to take personal responsibility. There it is. Best VeggieTales now controlled by NBC Universal and Trinity Broadcasting Network. That, Trinity, there is no Trinity in the Bible, right? That's a man-made doctrine, a lie. But these are woke Christians, right? Broadcasting Network also streams online his Mr. Phil show, on which he says he's very intentionally introduces children to non-white Christian activists. And before his June 14th video, he posted an online essay at the Holy Post blog titled "Racial Injustice Has Benefited Me," a confession along with a video rant calling Trump an extreme man who encourages violence against protesters. And then it goes on to say that these woke Christians only support the far left. All right? No, the far left. Hey, let's read some more of this article now that I'm looking at it. Many Christians on the woke side are also looking at the distance themselves from religious right groups, typically maligned in mainstream media and pop culture for its opposition to abortion, same-sex marriage, and other causes promoted by progressives. There are hints of racism in the history of religious right, says Victory. Well, you better believe it, man. All right, these people have. Hey, look, the men that killed. What was the boy's name? Now I can't think of his damn name. I can see his contorted face. The one that was from Chicago that went down to Mississippi. Yeah. God damn it. Well, everyone knows who I'm talking about. Though the ones who beat him, pulled him out of his house, the 14-year-old boy, and his mother had the open cast funeral to show you how the brutality of this devil. Hey, those men were Christians. All right. All these hangings that were done in America were done by white Christian males, and their women and their families that supported them, man. When you look in the book Without Sanctuary, and you see all the horrific scenes of brutalized bodies with their members, fingers, and penises and noses cut from their bodies, and their bodies burned and charred and hung from trees and poles, and the crowds and crowds of white people that were around them. A lot of them were policemen, firemen, Christians, the doctors, the lawyers, the mayors. The whole city would come out, and guess what? They were all Christians. As a matter of fact, one of their pastimes was after church, everyone would go watch a lynching. So you can go somewhere with all that fake Christianity shit, man. You people are full of shit. Now, as far as the record, the Lord left a very clear-cut record, man. So let's get a couple scriptures on that. All right, let's go to Lamentation. Book of Lamentation. Got people, be trying to ear hustle, but let them listen. You hear, then that you just getting condemned. All right, but this is Daniel 10:5-6, and it reads, "Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with the fine gold of Uphaz. His body," see, he had a body, and we're talking about the Lord here in the Old Testament. His body was also like the beryl. He had on a green garment, kind of like the one that I wear. And it tells you in Revelation it was down to his foot. Okay? And his appearance was as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes were as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet were like in color to the polished brass. All right? You know what? Brass is kind of like the color of this leaf. Just darker. All right? Polished meaning burnt. So he was way darker than that, man. All right? And it says, and his arms and his feet. So I've heard the excuse in Revelation when it breaks down the Lord, his feet were dirty. That's why they were black. Well, it just said his arms too. So what? So the Lord was rolling around in dirt? Man, but it says his arms and his feet were like in color to the polished brass. All right? And the voice of his words were like the voice of a multitude. He had a loud, deep, and powerful voice, man. All right, let's also go to Daniel 7:9. Okay? And it reads, and now this is talking about the Father. All right? And I beheld till his thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and his hair, and the hair of his head was like the pure wool. And his throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels were as a burning fire. And you go into any old dictionary, most of them prior to the 1970s, anything in the 1960s, 50s, 40s, it's going to give you the definition of wool, and it's going to relate wool to the hair of Negroid people. All right? That definition goes all the way back to the 1300s. All right, wool. There were lots of writings about slaves, and they talked about their woolly hair. Okay? You have to accept the Lord for the truth for what He is, man. You can't make the characters of the Bible vegetables and fruit to try to get around the truth that's in the Bible, man. All right? That's some low down sneaky Edomite shit right there. This is John 14:7. And it reads, if you have known me, ye should have known my Father also. From henceforth you know him, and you have seen him. And the Lord is making a comparison to himself and his Father, man. All right, verse 9. Yahushua said unto him, have I been so long with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me have seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, showeth us the Father? So what he's saying is that I look just like my Father. And for any of you idiots who try to say, see, he is God. No, idiot. He always says, I go now to my Father. Or I go to him that sent me. Hey, so with that, man, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakak, Wadash, Wa Abba, Babal, and Shalom.